bring the fire, 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 bring the fire, fire, bring the fire, fire.
Autonomous and stereotypical way of defining Muslims or young Muslim women. So in a lot, the representation of women in the media, of Muslim women in the media, is very one-dimensional. It's either someone that is wearing a niqab or covered, alluding to the fact, to an impression of Muslim women as submissive, unable to take control of their lives, facing sexism that doesn't exist anywhere else, although violence against women is an international phenomenon and is seen in many different communities. Or you would see on the other spectrum of that is the hypersexualized Muslim woman like Miss World or Miss Universe, where she's wearing a bikini and the unveiling of her body has become so orientalist and sexualized in a way that actually harms Muslim women in speaking out about their lives.
But when I started working with the young people, I started seeing people coming from all over the world to apply for refugee. Basically, most of the kids I work with are refugee parents who come here to apply for protection based on their sexuality and the fear of persecution and death, sometimes physical harm in their own countries. I started realizing why do these young people come to this program and stay month after month and sometimes year after year, and try so hard to find spaces where they can be all of these things together. One of the stories that I heard over and over again from the youth said, like, one of the worst experiences I had in Canada is going to the queer youth program at the community center down the street. And you're queer youth, that's a queer youth program. Say, yeah, I was there, the only person who doesn't speak English very well, the only person of color. I was ridiculed. I was made ashamed of the way I'm dressed because I'm not like the queer folk willing raised Church Street kind of party girl. I couldn't speak English very well. I couldn't communicate, and I was made to feel ashamed of who I am and how I look like and how I speak. And it was really, really demeaning experience that made me feel very uncomfortable.
Who are we and who have we become? Born of the same dirt, now we die by the same gun. Born of the same moon, to lie still in the same tombs. Ooh, who are we and who have we become? Once born of the same dirt, now we die by the same gun. Born of the same moon, to lie still in the same tombs. Ooh. In this progressive world, I live here as a lady. They rape the man at stake and just rape me as a gravy. They say I sin on cake, but then say unnecessary. But then when they want to spread their seed, it's me they call to carry. A soul, a child in my womb for 9 months, and then you tell me that I'm boring and no longer any fun. Takes a village to raise a child, but we don't need that saying. In the Western world, you earn the right to live if you can pay it. Be a mother or a partner, a sister or a cousin. When the bullet breaks that black man's skin, you're feeling something. Nurse the wound, the pride, and war-torn skin, and can't do nothing 365 days a year. 365 days a year. 365 days a year, open season for black man hunting.
I'm the coordinator of an organization called Community and Race Relations Committee of Peterborough. CRRC. CRRC started in the early 80s in response to a series of racially motivated attacks that were happening in downtown Peterborough, and a bunch of community members mobilized around that, and the press covered it, and Race Relations was born. It's about 30 years later now, and we're still working to address hate crimes in Peterborough. And I also wanted to be clear about how prevalent hate crimes are, even though they are often unreported. The last hate crime that was reported in Peterborough was only 2 weeks ago, and it's a monthly phenomenon, even though things are not being reported. So CRC, in the 30 years that it's operated, has done a lot of work to address hate crime. In the last few months, we worked with a number of community organizations and the local police to organize a hate crimes conference.
We also launched an online anti-racism and hate crime prevention resource center a couple of months ago. And there's a number of initiatives that we've undertaken, but what I'm going to talk to you about today is the attacks against Asian anglers that Barbara Hall was addressing earlier. So since 2007, there's been over 20 reported attacks against Asian anglers in a number of communities across the province, including Lake Simcoe and the Kawartha Lakes area, which is where Peterborough is located.
Of attacks on immigrant anglers. Since 2007, there have been many incidents of anglers being assaulted. In many cases, anglers were racially targeted and pushed into the water. These acts of hatred in the form of bullying and physical assault are unacceptable and can't be tolerated. Fishing is a pastime meant for enjoying nature by everyone. If you witness any wrongdoing, please report it to the authorities.
That we heard. As Jessica said, my name is Jennifer Fair. I'm Vice President of the METRAC Board of Directors. It's an incredibly rich afternoon with talented performances and inspiring stories of courage against individual acts of violence and societal oppression more generally. Now that we're at the end of our program, I'd like to take a moment to thank all the community partners and friends for being here, for those who sent materials and resources for display and distribution at the back of the room. Please have a look, pick some up on your way out. There's lots of really informative things out there. And in particular, we'd like to thank the Ontario Victims Services Secretariat, and our special thanks to Barbara Hall, the Chief Commissioner of the Ontario Human Rights Commission, for taking time out of her busy schedule to be here and speak to us today. And big thanks and applause to the amazingly talented artists who made this event possible. NGO, Red Slam Collective, Charlie Nixon, and finally our guest speakers, Rowena Abingun, Marion Park, Sahil, Abu Salmaid, I think you might have left early, so maybe we didn't have a name with that. Caroline Garode and Farah Shaw. And last but not least, we thank the Ministry of the Attorney General for funding that made this event possible. And of course, a big appreciation for the staff of METRAC who organized this event, Andrea Gunraj, Wendy Kamiotis, Jessica Musachi, and the project coordinator, and the MC. So please stick around and join us for some drinks and some social time. And thank you so much for coming and joining this afternoon.
And just one last announcement. If people do have hate crimes to report, or if they know someone who does, there's a website. It's www.notohate.ca. That's N-O-T-O hate.ca. So please, we have food and refreshments. Please stick around for a little while and talk to each other, and I hope you all had a good time. Thanks for coming.